Watch this video to learn how to play the first part of the Imperial March, also known as Darth Vader's theme, composed by John Williams as arranged in Star Wars: A Musical Journey. Here is the lesson plan for this video. After you watch and listen to an example of this part, we will learn how to play it in 7 stages. You will then have a self-assessment activity. To begin this lesson, please watch and listen to this example of Section 1. Let's pause here to talk about your learning plan before we jump into learning this piece. Your tempo goal for the first 5 stages will be 66 beats a minute, and for the last 2 stages will be 88 beats a minute. This is a piece where your metronome should be on during the full acquisition, which is everything covered in this video. You have already watched an example. The next step is to go over an overview of the piece, and then you will learn in 7 stages. You will take them each one at a time. You will pause and take your time to learn a stage completely before you move on to the next one. Finally, you will do a self-assessment at the end to determine if you're ready to move on to the second part of this piece. Today we're looking at the Imperial March, Darth Vader's theme. I'd like to start by doing an overview. Please get out your music and a pencil and get ready to circle a few things. The first thing that I would like you to circle is the key signature marking in the front. That is where you will find the sharps and the flats that come at the very front of the music. We see 4 flats that are there. The 4 flats that we see are D flat, E flat, A flat, and B flat. Now this could be the key of A flat, or it could be the key of F minor. So A flat major or F minor. So we look for clues in the music to determine which one it is. I want you to look at the first note and the last note and see if it looks like they're based on F or A flat. What do you see there? I see F. So we're going to say that this is F minor. The next thing that I would like you to circle is the time signature. The time signature are the 2 numbers that stand on top of each other at the beginning of the music, right next to the key signature. There you should see 4/4. So that means that each of these measures will have 4 beats in them, and that a quarter note gets 1 beat. Now let's take a look at the tempo marking. The tempo marking is just above the music at the very beginning, underneath the composer's name and off to the left. There you should see the words march style with a quarter note equaling 108 beats a minute. That is the ideal tempo for this piece. Once you have learned it, you should be ready to speed it up till you get to that point. Those are all of the overview things that I would like to look at. Now let's begin stage 1. In stage 1 of this piece, we are going to learn the first line, the first phrase, I mean. Let's start by looking at the right hand. The right hand begins with this chord. This is an F minor chord, first inversion. The normal F minor chord is this. In this chord, we bring the F up to the top. We play 3 of these. Then we go to this chord. Then we come up to this chord and back to this chord. Try just those chords with me. So first, F minor first inversion. Now, and back. After that, we go through those rotations again. Okay, so let's look at the rhythm. It's ta, 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 da, 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 da. So we have a 16th note, a short note that comes at the end. So we need to make sure to reserve a short space for that after we play the 8th note. The rhythm is like this. We're going to do that a little bit slower together. So in rhythm, 1, 2, here we go. Good. Next, we just need to look at what the left hand does. F's, D flat, and then F, D flat, F, F. Do that with me. 1, 2, ready, go. F, D flat, F, D flat, F. Now we are going to combine both hands together slowly. 1, 2, ready, go. It is now time for you to pause this video so that you can practice and play stage 1 until you have achieved these master checkpoints. Please note that your metronome should be set between 52 and 66 beats per minute, and your goal is to have this section at 66 beats per minute with all of these points mastered before you move on to stage 2. In stage 2, we're going to move on to the next phrase. In the next phrase, we go up above middle C and we play an F minor chord in root position 3 times. Then we're going to go to this. So everything is flat in that chord, including F. Then we come down to here, and the F is still flat. Keep going down. Keep going down. So let's look at what's happening there. In these chords, we have F flat, A flat, D flat. Then we're going to move to D flat, F flat, A flat. So it's the same chord, just a different inversion. And now we move it down further to a different inversion. F flat, D flat, A flat. And then we move it down again. And then we come back up to its root position. So all of those chords are inversions of this D minor chord. Okay, we're going to try the right hand for all of that phrase. 1, 2, here we go. Here comes this chord. I did not focus on the rhythm because we have done that before, but if you need to go back and focus on the rhythm, I suggest that you slow down the viewing pace so that you can go a little bit slower with me. Let's look at what happens in the left hand here. We're still saying on F and D flat. We start with 3 Fs, then 3 D flats, and then 2 Fs. Try that with me, left hand only. 1, 2, ready, go. We are now going to put it together slowly, both hands. 1, 2, ready, go. It is now time for you to pause this video and practice stage 2. Again, have your metronome set between 52 and 66 beats per minute, with 66 as the goal. These are all of the mastery checkpoints that you should be able to check off as complete before you move on to stage 3. Next, we are going to take a look at stage 3. This will be our next phrase. It begins with this chord, same as the first stage that we did. 3 here. Our top note comes down to E, and then it comes down again to E flat. Notice that the bottom 2 notes stayed the same through all that. And then we're going to move down to this chord. It's the middle note that's going to move down, down, and then back up to here. So there's a lot happening in this phrase. It's twice as long as the other phrases that we've done. We're going to play the whole right hand together, but I'm going to go a little bit slower. It begins with the F minor chord. 1, 2, here we go. Top note moves down. Good. If you need to pause the video here, you can, or you can continue to watch through the left hand and hands together and then master it on your own. The left hand here plays F 4 times, B 4 times, and it is natural, D flat 4 times, and then F, D flat, and 2 Fs. Left hand only with me. 1, 2, here we go. Okay, we are going to put it together very slowly. Again, if you want to, you can watch through this point and work on mastery on your own and come back to do hands together with me later when you are ready. This phrase is longer than the other 2 that we've done. 1, 2, here we go. Top note moves. Pause and master this stage on your own. It is time to pause and practice stage 3, metronome set to the same place, same goals, and then you will be ready to move on to stage 4. Stage 4 is the beginning of the second page. We start with this F minor first inversion again. Just like the last phrase, we're going to move the top note. This is also the same as the last phrase, except for the rhythm here at the end, and the middle note doesn't move. Now on to the first ending. Everything is flat here, including the F. We're moving the F down to the bottom, then up to this chord, back. We're going to try the right hand together for this part. Starting on the beginning of page 2, and we're doing the first ending. 1, 2, 3, 4. Top note moves down. Everything flat. Move that F flat down, up, back. Let's look at what the left hand does here. It starts with F's, quarter note speed. Now we're going into eighth notes on B's. And D flats. F, B flat, F, F. Try that left hand with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here comes the B's and eighth note speed. Move to D flat, F, B flat, and F. Okay, we're going to put them together nice and slow. 1, 2, ready, go. Top note moves. Eighth notes. Move to D flat. You know the drill. It's time for you to pause this video and practice stage 4 on your own. Set your metronome between 52 and 66 beats per minute and achieve these mastery checkpoints to move on to stage 5. We're now looking at stage 5, which will be the second ending. So the second ending cuts off where the first ending began. So after you play the repeat, you're going to go straight to the second ending. It starts with this chord. We move the A flat to the bottom. Move the F flat to the bottom. Back to root. Move up. Try that with me. 1, 2, here we go. The left hand part here plays D's, D flats 4 times, then F, B flat, F. Do that with me. 1, 2, here we go. Let's put it together. 1, 2, ready, go. Move it down, down again, up. It is your turn to pause and practice section 5 with your metronome set between 52 and 66 beats per minute until you have achieved these mastery checkpoints, and then I will tell you what to do for stage 6. Congratulations, you are ready to move on to stage 6. Here are your stage 6 goals. In stage 6, you will play stages 1 through 4 continuously. That means that you will play through to the first ending. You will also work to raise the tempo from 66 to 88 beats per minute. You should do this in chunks of 4 to 6 beats per minute metronome raises at a time. Add pedaling in after that. Make sure that your pedaling happens in a way that is not disruptive to the sound. And then make sure that you achieve mastery of all of these checkpoints. After that, you will be ready to move on to stage 7. You are now ready for stage 7. In stage 7, you are going to play the previous stages 1 through 5 continuously. This means that you will play through the section 1 time with the first ending, and then you will repeat the section and skip the first ending to go to the second ending. Your second goal is to achieve an 88 beats per minute tempo through the entire thing. The third goal is to make sure that you eliminate any lag in the transitions to repeat or the transition to jump to the second ending. And finally, make sure that you achieve mastery of all of these checkpoints. At that point, you will be ready to move on to your final self-assessment. Congratulations! You have made it through 7 stages of learning this section and you are ready to do your self-assessment activity to advance to part 2 of the Imperial March. Let's talk about the steps to this activity. Step 1, record yourself playing this part. You can do it with video or audio, either will be okay. Step 2, watch or listen back to your recording. Step 3, rate your performance in each mastery area. Your mastery areas are notes, rhythms, articulations, phrasing, dynamics, and pedaling. Rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being that you are doing the very best possible and 1 being needing the most improvement. After that, I want you in step 4 to look at that feedback that you've given yourself and make corrections to your performance. This might take a few days of practicing to improve. It might be really quick. It all depends on what you see. In step 5, please go back and watch the recording at the beginning of this video of me playing this section of the Imperial March. And then I want you to listen to a new recording of yourself playing the same section. Step 7 is to seek 3 opportunities for improvement. These might be things that are different between my playing and your playing, or it could just be things that you identify that you could do better. And in step 8, incorporate those ideas by practicing them. With that final step of the self-assessment done, you are ready to move on to part 2 of the Imperial March. Great work through this video. You have reached the conclusion of it.